In 1990, documentary filmmaker Jenny Livingston released her controversial film Paris is Burning, which brilliantly chronicles the drag ball scene in New York City in the late 1980s. Jenny worked for 6 years on this film. Clubs in New York City and in many other cities would hold regular drag balls, in which contestants would dress up in drag clothing and compete in a specific category, such as bougie, and would have a chance to walk, perform, and dance in front of a panel of judges who would judge each contestant on their talent and their quote-unquote realness. The film features LGBT contestants primarily from inner-city upbringings, most of them from African or Latino American origins. Contestants were generally affiliated with a specific house, such as the La Beija house, or the Extravaganza house, or the Ninja house, and they would have mentors, often called mothers, and support from other performers in the house, often called sisters. They would also use the house names as their drag last name. These houses represented places of acceptance and love, and many of the individuals affiliated with these houses had been unable to find that in their own families of origin. The documentary shows interviews with many of the performers at length as they discuss their passions and their dreams, such as having a family and a home, or having enough money to have gender reassignment surgery. Plus the realities of their lives. Many of these performers had to shoplift in order to survive, and some of them were resorted to working as sex workers in order to make a living. Shortly after the film's release, one of the featured queens in the film, Venus Extravaganza, was found violently murdered in a hotel room. She had been working as a sex worker at the time of her death. Among the themes explored in the film are poverty, the AIDS epidemic, homophobia, and the expectations of specific gender roles. The film chronicles key points in the transformation of the drag movement, just before it would become mainstream over a decade later. It captures the origins of many now familiar words like voguing, or a dance that involves freezing in place and striking a pose, a word Madonna would later make world famous. Fish or fishy, meaning a drag performer who can actually pass as a female in public. Gagging, meaning something so beautiful it inspires nausea. Reading, or cleverly insulting someone around you. Shade or tossing shade, meaning making your insults more cruel. Tucking, or using methods to fold back and hide the penis during drag performances. And realness, or the authenticity someone has in their performance. Paris is Burning went on to win many awards at the Sundance Film Festival and many other places, and it was very controversially received by many in the relatively conservative early 90s. Several of the key performers in the show sued for portions of the film's profits later when it proved to be successful. The film was released on DVD in 2005 and can likely be found at your local library or online. Many of the featured drag queens in the film went on to meet fairly tragic ends, including health concerns in the AIDS crisis or violent attacks. While the ball scene still exists in some form, it has transformed mightily over the years. So this is a wonderful snapshot in time. Paris is Burning is over 25 years old now, but it remains a timeless documentary of the culture at that time in the largest city in America. Livingston went on to make several more films.